Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade baked churros, and they're in the shape of a heart because it's Valentine's Day, and we're going to serve it with a nice big mug of chocolate sauce. So first of all, we'll start by making the chocolate sauce. So while we're baking the churros, the sauce is time to cool down. So we'll need 90 grams of bittersweet chocolate, 280 milliliters of milk, some vanilla essence, half teaspoon of corn flour, and to that I'll add in 1 teaspoon of water and make a slurry. And for the utensils, we'll just need a small saucepan and a rubber spatula. So in a small saucepan, I'll turn on the heat to medium-low, and I'll add in my chocolate as well as the milk, and we're just going to melt this on low heat. Once all the chocolate has melted, we will add in the cornstarch slurry, and we will cook this on low heat until the mixture thickens. If you want a thicker consistency, you can add in more corn flour. So just keep stirring and cooking. This will take about 2 to 3 minutes and then it will be ready. So after around 3 minutes, the mixture is thickened up. You can see it's nice and thick. So at this point, I'll turn off the heat, and now I'll add in the vanilla, around half a teaspoon of vanilla essence, and just mix it in, and the chocolate sauce is ready. So churros are normally made with a choux pastry. So to make the choux pastry, the ingredients we will need are 113 grams of butter, 225 milliliters of water, some vanilla essence, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 143 grams of all-purpose flour, and 3 eggs. For the utensils, you will need a large saucepan, a wooden spatula, a knife, a whisk. Then I have a piping bag fitted with an open star tip. I have a baking tray that I've lined with butter paper, and of course a cooling rack. And we'll also need a little water to sprinkle on the tray before the churros go in the oven. So in a large saucepan, first of all we'll add in our water, followed by the sugar, the salt, and the butter. We'll switch on the heat to a medium-low heat, and we'll allow the butter to melt and the mixture to heat up, but not to boiling point. You can see all the butter has melted and the mixture is nice and hot, but it's not boiling. So at this point, I'm going to take it off the heat and add in the flour and mix it until a dough is formed, until all the flour disappears. Just keep mixing. After all the flour has been mixed in really well, I'm going to take it back on the heat, turn the heat down low, and we're going to cook the flour until all of it is nice and smooth and it isn't sticking to the bottom of the pan. Just keep mixing it around so that it doesn't stick, and cook it for around 1 or 2 minutes. You can see it's already forming into a nice ball, and it's clearing the pan. now this dough is ready. So now I'm going to turn off the heat, and off the heat we'll add in our eggs one by one, and using a whisk we're going to whisk the eggs in. Crack in one egg at a time and whisk it in. The reason we add one egg at a time is because the mixture is hot and we want to temper the eggs. So if we add in all of them at once, they will curdle. When you add in the eggs, your dough might look a bit runny and not as smooth, but don't worry. If you just keep mixing, it will get there. After you've added in all of your eggs, add in half a teaspoon of vanilla essence and your dough is ready to be piped. So now we'll add in half a teaspoon of vanilla essence and just mix that in using a wooden spoon, and you can see our dough is ready. It might seem on the softer side, but you will be able to pipe it very easily, and this is the perfect consistency. So now we'll go on over to our station and fill up a piping bag with our dough. I have a piping bag fitted with a star tip on the end, and I'm just going to fill the dough into this piping bag. Just turn it over on your hand, your thumb and your index finger, and using a spatula just take some of the dough and put it into the bag. Okay. I'm going to put this on the side. I have my baking sheet, my baking tray lined with the baking sheet, and just so that the baking paper doesn't move around in the oven, we're going to pipe little dots on the corners and kind of use it as a glue to stick the baking paper to the baking tray. Just do that. So now it's safe and secure and it won't move around in the oven. So because it's Valentine's Day, I'm going to pipe my churros into little heart shapes, and the star tip gives it the ridges that are on a traditional churro. So just like that, I'm going to fill up the entire tray with little heart churros, and just make sure that you leave some space between the two churros. My oven is preheating at 200 degrees C. Apply the same amount of pressure throughout the heart so that you get an even pastry, so it cooks evenly. You can do different sizes, big ones, small ones. You can literally pipe it into any shape that you want. You can also do the classic ones. If you're doing the classic ones, I'll just show you one. Just apply pressure and make a long line, and once you've reached the desired length, just take a knife and slit it off. You can do small bites of churros. Just do a dot and there you have it. Small bites of churros. So literally endless possibilities of shapes. You can do whatever shape, whatever size that you want. Now these are ready to go into the oven, but before they go into the oven, I'm just going to sprinkle the tray with a little bit of water, and what this does is the water is going to evaporate and it's going to create a steam in the oven, and that's going to make the churros nice and puffy. So now these are ready to go into the oven. They'll go into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for around 18 to 20 minutes, or until they're nice and golden brown. Traditionally, churros are coated in a delicious cinnamon sugar. It is very easy to make. You just have to mix together 3 ingredients like I've done over here. Mix together 55 grams of granulated sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and that's it. Once the churros come out of the oven, they'll be ready to be dipped into this delicious coating. The churros have just come out of the oven. You can see they've gone a nice golden brown color. So now with the help of an offset spatula, I'm just going to slightly release the pastry from the sheet. Still hot. And you can see that they've puffed up really nicely. And while they're still warm, we're going to coat them in this cinnamon sugar. And then I'm going to put them on the wire rack and let them cool completely. So to coat them, just put it into the sugar and sprinkle some on the top. Coat it very nicely and very generously. And then I'm going to put this on the wire rack. And this way I'm going to complete all the churros. Coat them really nicely in the sugar. Let's do the heart. Just nicely coat them in the sugar. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're going to make this for someone special this Valentine's Day. Please leave a like, share this video, and also comment down below what recipes you would like to see next. If there's any special recipe that you'd like to see for this Valentine's or for any other time, do comment down below.